Sandra, welcome to South Africa and thank you very much for sharing your knowledge about character building with us. I would like to ask you a few questions about building character strengths. The first question is, what is character building about?
Okay, so character building is about paying attention to the kind of person that we want to become and want to be. So we all have skills, we all have knowledge, we know we can do things, but what we think at the Jubilee Centre for Character and Virtues matters is what kind of a person do we want to become? So we think about the character strengths or the virtues that we have, things like courage, things like honesty. And we want people to think about how they can develop those character traits, how they can build their character so that they can be the best person that they can possibly be.
But why does character building really matter?
Well, we think it matters because we think society faces many problems and many issues. So we think it really matters that we all work together for a flourishing society, that we try to make the best of what we have and that we make the best people that we have. And together we build a good society. And by good, I don't necessarily mean a rich society. I mean a society where people are able to reach their potential, to contribute what we want them to contribute and what they want to contribute.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the theory behind character building?
Okay, so we think about character as being both caught and taught. When I say caught, what I mean is that we absorb it from our environment, from the people around us. So if you think about children in school, children will catch character from the school that they are in. And that'll be through the whole ethos of the school, it'll be through the way the leader behaves within the school, and it'll be within the teachers as well. So that's about them actually almost implicitly building their character. They will learn from others and they will learn from the atmosphere in the school. But we think you can also teach character explicitly. And we would argue that it's better that you teach it explicitly so you know that you are what you're doing and it is a planned exercise. You can do this through specific curriculum subjects. So for example, you can teach character through maths. And indeed, it's best if it is embedded within subjects. But we also think there's a place for more explicit character teaching. So we've developed a programme of study which has materials around, for example, if a teacher wanted to focus on the virtue of courage, we've developed some lesson plans, etc., to help teachers teach about courage.
You refer to teachers now. Where do character come from, and do parents play a role as well?
Absolutely. We certainly wouldn't say that this is the role of teachers only. We think all of society has a responsibility for building the character of young people. First and foremost, parents. You're right. They have a very definite role to play. There's no doubt about that. However, children spend a lot of time in school, and teachers have great authority and influence over young people. So it's really important that we also pay attention to what kind of influence they have. So yes, children learn it from their parents, they learn it from teachers, they learn it from lots of places, they learn it from their friends, they learn it from their role models. They think about the kind of people they want to be and they learn it from that. We want to make sure that children are making conscious and good choices in what they take from different people and what they learn from different people.
You mentioned previously that it is important that one should have a philosophy when you do character building. Can you tell me a little bit more about what this philosophy is and entails and why it's important?
Okay, I think you're right about that. I think it's really important to have a theory. Partly so that you know that what you're doing is grounded in good, solid knowledge. rather than is haphazard and going by intuition, for example. So certainly at the centre we follow an Aristotelian tradition. So we talk about the development of virtues, and we talk about things like courage, honesty, kindness in those virtues. We think about moral virtues, performance virtues, civic virtues, and intellectual virtues. And we find it quite helpful to think about them in those groups. We think the moral virtues are perhaps given less attention than the performance virtues, something like resilience. There's a lot about resilience, but resilience has got to be for the good. So following Aristotle, we would argue that those children should be building those virtues and should aspire to be the best in those virtues that they can. And we use his concept of phronesis, practical wisdom, as the kind of meta virtue about how you balance between two maybe competing virtues. So we use that as a framework from which to build, and we find that is very helpful. And one of the biggest things that it offers is a non-partisan approach to the building of character. So we don't take a particular religious focus. And we think that is very important because we think it's more important to have a universal view of virtues than a particularly partisan view.
Thank you very much, Sandra, for sharing your knowledge and wisdom about building character strengths with us.